types of corporate innovation. There's disruptive innovation that truly doesn't belong in a business unit or functional unit, because this really is blue sky stuff. That truly belongs in some corporate function. But then there's business model innovation. My favorite business model innovation, anybody familiar with Coke? Anybody know about Pepsi? Yeah, someone's going to raise their hand. Good, all right, thank you. Who generates more revenue?
Coke.
Pepsi. Yeah, why? Right? Sorry? Yeah. What else does Pepsi have? Snack foods. Snack foods. It turns out in the 1980s, Pepsi was, 40 years into being the perennial number 2, and someone looked at their business model. I'm just going to reinterpret history, but pretty clear, someone said, we could chase them forever in this like caramelized, bubbly water business, but do we have some like advantage here? What do we got, or what do we got that they're not using? And someone said, well, we do own shelf space. Yeah, so does Coke. Well, is there something we noticed that they didn't? Yeah, they noticed that people are buying snack foods with their sodas. And someone said, well, wait a minute. Why don't we just use their distribution channel, those same trucks talking to those same stores, talking to whatever, and just own another foot of shelf space? And so they bought Frito-Lay as the first start. And so now when someone was talking to a buyer at a local grocery store, they said, wouldn't you like some chips with our soda? Here's our discount and here's our whatever. And their average sale price per store doubled or tripled. So in aggregate, Pepsi is still a perennial number 2 in sodas, but in fact in gross revenue, I think makes more than Coke. That is an example of a business model innovation. They in fact didn't invent anything. What they realized is they had an asset that was underutilized, which was those trucks and their salespeople and the stores and whatever, and Coke could have done it too. But Pepsi actually made that corporate innovation like change to say, we're not just a bubbly water company. Big idea. The equivalent to that was when Apple woke up and said, we're no longer Apple Computer, when we actually are Apple. That actually does media and other things as well as computing. That's the second type of innovation. I believe that belongs in divisions as well. But requires some really creative division general managers who are asking business model, not product questions. Does that make sense? Then there's a third type of innovation, and then I'll be quiet, which is product innovation. But new product innovation that actually belongs in functional units or divisions and are not just product line extensions. A company who wants to be innovative needs to run all 3 of these in parallel, and at the same time, across the broad base, needs to be asking, are we buying, are we building, are we partnering, or are we doing open innovation? So you have 4 choices of how to get this stuff, and then you have 3 places of where it goes. Does that make sense? The sum of this is a corporate innovation portfolio. And that really does need to be run by a chief innovation officer or somebody reporting to the CEO and board who actually kind of manages all these activities. When you have that big view of corporate innovation, then all of a sudden you could throw in lean startup techniques and tools. Because now instead of running 1 initiative at a time, lean means I could be running 50 experiments at a time for the price of what used to be one big 3-year program. I could be doing 50 of these things and getting results within 3 to 6 months.